So we're going to go through the life cycle of your mobile management solution. And so, you know, the cycle usually starts here with the provisioning of your device, and it can also start with deprovisioning when you're going to go ahead and suspend or disconnect a device. And then we start talking about how you can manage that process as well as manage the actual device through inventory, through optimization, through the support of that device to make sure that it continues to work and you always have a good working device, through the reporting, etc. So here we see the life cycle of what you will do as it relates to mobility management. And so how that life cycle assists you is it helps you reduce the hard cost, you get the lowest price per minute on your device, and one of the most important things, it will increase your efficiency. It will, again, improve your compliance as it relates to your mobility policy. It'll help reduce the burden from your help desk, and then it will improve the visibility so that no matter who ends up internally being responsible for managing your wireless devices, they're going to see what's going on with either whether it's an individual person, a specific cost center, a specific location site, etc. Without a standard approach to mobile provisioning from pre-authorized devices and services to the automated device approval, policy enforcement is impossible. And again, you know, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but the enforcement of your mobile policy is what's really going to start to push you in the right direction. And along with that enforcement is you're going to have buy-in from your executive team. And whether that's one specific executive team within your department or whether that's at the very highest level of your company, you have to have that support. You can establish standard packages for your mobile devices by job role, and Brenda spoke a little bit about that. So in the case of Coca-Cola, for instance, there's a job role for all of their senior VPs, and all of their senior VPs are attached to, you know, 3 or 4 different types of phones and or Blackberries, etc. They're attached to certain plans, they're attached to certain features, and that's what they work within. But their drivers, for instance, have different phones and or Blackberries that their role is allowed to have along with packages and features, etc. We provide a web-based portal so that you can easily go in, and I say you, meaning whoever from your company would do the provisioning of the wireless device, and then, again, enforce mobile policy compliance. With workflow-based approval processes, which for any of you who have invoice processing, invoice management services right now, that same type of approval process through the email escalation, etc., we're using that as it relates to mobility to make sure that you can have approved devices and that there's documentation / audit trail of who is approved. You're going to want to centrally manage all of your wireless devices. We're going to assist with automating the bill payment process from the receipt of the invoice till it actually goes to your accounts payable department. There's always ongoing validation of what you're being billed versus what you should be billed. And then, you know, there's personal and business calls. You can track those for your individual users. And then we hope to reduce the time spent in your administration, your administrating of your mobility services. So Gartner tells us that wireless costs will surpass fixed costs as wireless spending continues to grow at a rate of more than 30% a year. That's just amazing to me. And then 80% of enterprises will overspend on their wireless service costs by an average of 15%. And in the current times right now, 15% is huge. And I'm sure that every CIO would like to see that be 0, but if you could reduce that to, you know, single-digit numbers, I think somebody would be a hero. Optimize the plans to save money. We want to continually monitor your wireless plans and the employee consumption patterns so that you can start working on optimizing your costs. And then we want to automatically flag opportunities to move employees to the best plan that they should be on. So if I'm Sharon Young and I'm on a plan that gives me 500 minutes and it's $10.99 a month, but Sharon Young is constantly on the phone for 550 minutes a month, then we need to see about getting Sharon Young on the next plan. And so whether that's 600 minutes, and maybe it needs to be 1,000 minutes, because I know my plan is only 500, that I'm finding ways that are not productive to go over as little as possible from those 500 minutes. So maybe I really do belong on a 1,000-minute plan. So we're going to assist with doing that through our reports that, again, back to your question about Telesoft, we're going to roll up all the wireless spending from multiple accounts with each carrier so that you can then review by carrier where you're getting the best rates, where you need to see improvement, where you need to change plans. Maybe you are getting the best rates and you just still have people on the wrong plans. Reduce the help desk burden. For those of you who are the help desk, I'm sure that this is something that you would like to see, but what Gardner has told us is enterprises are spending 10 times more on support of wireless services than their fixed services. So that's huge. And then AOTMP has told us that enterprises support 7.5 different types of devices. So that's all kinds of these. 3 different operating systems and more than 4 applications, and then that all of us, use 3+ wireless vendors. So, you've got your big 3, which would be Sprint, AT&T, and Verizon, but, you've got, just slipped my mind. Altel, you've got T-Mobile, you've got, who is it, US Wireless up in the Midwest, etc. So, a lot of other ones that we've referred to them in the past as being small, but they're catching up because they're becoming very competitive. You want to improve the expense visibility. You want to centralize the management of the reporting of all of your devices, and I would include in that the tracking of your devices. So you're going to always want to know how many BlackBerries do I have, how many LG phones do I have, etc. So that's just as important. You want to provide your managers and specifically your end users with reporting that's going to let them know what their expenses are. Because sometimes it's easy to reduce your cost just because somebody didn't know how much they were talking. Brenda, I think, gave the example that one of the VPs thanked her because they didn't realize they were going over on their minutes because they had never received any reporting. And then you want to report on your mobile usage. You want to see trending. You want to see the details so that you can make decisions. And then you want to definitely have an inventory of all of your devices. That's what's going to help you with your spend. That's what's going to help you look at trends. And then again, analyze where you should be as far as optimization. Okay. So the average enterprise can expect to save between 5 and 35% of its total mobile expenses. And the more research that Telesoft does and that I've done personally, we see that percentage actually going a little higher than 35%. So that's a huge cost savings. And if you look at the features of what you can save on and what those benefits are, you can see that your typical savings can be huge. And again, somebody is going to be the hero when you start saving money for your company, especially in these current times. But you can see, as it relates to optimization, a lot of people have found a great benefit in pooling, but we've had a lot of people also decide not to pool and just really maintain what their plan should be.